Over the past 28 days, we've booked exactly 178 sales calls that have generated $1.25 million in revenue for our clients and ourselves. We've been sending cold emails for well over 10 years now, and it's safe to say that we've learned a thing or two, and we now know a thing or two about this channel. And believe it or not, most businesses and cold email agencies have absolutely no idea what they're doing when it comes to sending cold email. They're spending thousands of dollars every single month just ramming volume, hoping and praying that they're going to get a client from this channel. And hope is not a strategy. That's why in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down the 15 things that I wish I knew when I started this journey, so you guys can send more emails, book more meetings, and close more deals and scale your business utilizing this channel effectively. Let's get into it. Before we jump into this video today, if you enjoy this cold email content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and you can see more cold email content like this. 1. Relevance at scale beats personalization at scale. When we started sending cold emails 10 years ago and launching Buzzly 3 years ago, the whole focus was on just crafting personalized first lines to show that you knew somebody, but it was really just calling out their college, where they're from, or something relevant about what their business was recently doing, and then just rolling into your standard offer. Since then, cold email has absolutely changed, and with the advent of AI, you can now write really hyper-personalized copy at mass volume. So with that, you need to be incredibly relevant to that person and not just personalize that first line. So the question then becomes, how do you become relevant? And there's relevance in multiple different forms, but my favorite one here is to do the macro environment and then the micro environment. So here's what that looks like. We have a client named Productivo. They provide product development, offshoring, and outsourcing. And so, as you may be familiar, there's a huge development going on with the tariff landscape here in the US. And so we did deep research on everything that's going on with tariffs in the US and external manufacturing partners. And then we did micro research on each individual business to figure out where their existing gaps are in their manufacturing strategy and how they can bring manufacturers stateside as an alternative. We then utilized those two huge stacks of evidence to write personalized outreach to those audiences, and it absolutely crushed. That's how relevance will always beat personalization at scale. Number 2, your AI needs to understand your offer at its core before it writes copy. Oftentimes what we find when working with AI is that it'll provide surface level outputs if you give it surface level information. So you need to go really in depth into the model to identify the certain pain points that are felt by your audience, how you uniquely solve these challenges, and then what are the unique values or benefits that clients get out of these that nobody else can claim that they actually do. And then you're going to utilize that to build up a huge stack of evidence to write the generalized copy to go out and engage these audiences, or personalized one-to-one copy. So what most AI is going to do when you say, right, we provide marketing services to auto buy shops, is it's going to give you copy that directly reflects that. But in turn, if you go in more in depth into what you guys are uniquely doing, pain points that you solve, and benefits that you provide, what that might actually output is we're a boutique founder-led agency that partners with auto body shops to implement SEO optimized websites with ad copy and call tracking software to book 25 plus qualified service calls every month. Do you see the difference in those two copies there? That first one is going to easily get thrown out, but that second one is very particular. It talks about the unique benefits that you provide and exactly how you do it so you guys can book more calls and be more successful in your outreach. Number 3, pain point persona playbook. If you've made it this far into the video, this is going to be an absolute gem for you. This is one of our evergreen campaigns that we run because it just works so well every time a client comes on board. So what this sounds like is you go and do deep research on offer or what services you provide. And then from there, you will align exactly how you can help out that persona and address that, and then have a unique call to actions for that audience. Those two elements there of like calling out a unique pain point felt by that person and then providing a unique value to solve that problem are just so incredibly relevant that that's how you break through the noise and speak to that individual persona every single time. It's a campaign we run every single time a client comes on board, and it's responsible for around 70% of our results. I highly recommend that you implement this if you haven't done so yet. Number 4, dynamic offers by role even within the same company. When you're doing your outreach, there's going to be most chances that you're getting multiple contacts within the same company, and your copy should reflect the different pain points that are going to be felt by each of these different personas, and the benefits should sway to that accordingly. So for example, let's say we're going back to the marketing agency that provides marketing services to auto body shops. For the CEO, what that might sound like is they're going to grow their top line revenue through our marketing services. For the marketing team, what that might sound like is they're going to get extra bandwidth to accomplish all the marketing goals that their CEO has set out for them. And then for the sales team, what that might sound like is we're going to get extra leads so that they never have to worry about calling these closed loss opportunities or going out and pounding the pavement looking for new leads, right? And so your offer should continually just switch and change based on like what are the unique benefits and then pain points felt by that individual persona. So if you're going to be doing one-to-many copy, make sure that you're segmenting your campaigns based on each individual persona. And then if you're doing one-to-one, utilizing a tool like Clay, just make sure you're bringing over that job title so it can write the unique copy to speak to that individual's pain points and benefits in your copy and engagement strategies. Number 5, treat cold email like a content funnel. Not every cold email is going to be a one-shot kill. Don't expect to actually sell over cold email. It's very, very rarely done, and I don't highly recommend it. Now, what you will find in sending cold emails is that oftentimes the prospect that you're engaging is going to take the subdomain or secondary domain that you're sending from and import that into Google to see like what exactly your business is about. They're going to click around there, engage with some of your content, maybe check out your YouTube videos, maybe check out your CEO or founder's LinkedIn profile to get a better understanding of exactly who you are. And then they might respond. But what will likely happen is they're going to forget, they're going to bounce off, and they're going to follow up with them. So don't expect to just like knock it out of the park on the first time around. Treat it like you're engaging them, you're bringing them into your ecosystem, and then you can start warming up their relationship. But it's going to take a little bit of time and effort. That's why we often see most of our replies happen on that second or third step in our engagement strategies. Number 6, engineer for deliverability. Cold email has become a game of technicalities. It wasn't always this way, but it is this way now. So you have to play by the rules if you want to end up in the inbox. So here's what you do. Purchase secondary domains. Mask those secondary domains utilizing a tool like EmailGuard, which will help put them on a privately based US IP address. From there, you're going to want to ensure that your copy your emails around 30 to 35 emails per day. You're sending those emails for a private infrastructure like something like Email Bison, or at the very least Smart Lead Smart servers. That'll get you on a unique sending IP instead of a shared IP address. You want to make sure that all your DNS settings are configured correctly. There's no links in your initial emails itself. And then you're going to also want to ensure that you're double verifying all the leads that you're going to be doing outreach to. So utilize a tool like Omni Verifier, Million Verifier, Scrubby, TriKit, any of those ones. Do your waterfall enrichment and then just make sure that those are actually valid emails, because if Google or Microsoft sees that you're just sending out these emails that are bouncing back, they're going to know that you guys are just sending massive volume, and then you're going to quickly blacklist your domain. It's going to be hard to revive that from. So if you do those 7, 8 things, you're going to be really successful, at least at ending up in the inbox. And within the 2025, 2026 timeframe, that's around like 40% of the battle. Now, at this point, you've probably noticed if you want to get the most out of cold email and be really successful with this channel, it's become a game of technicalities and small little things. However, if you're running a business, you probably know that you don't have the time, energy, or resources to really just dedicate to isolating this channel to be successful. But if you want to dominate cold email and not have to worry about it, feel free to just book some time with us down here below, and let's see how we can book you 10 to 40 qualified sales calls every month so you can continue to scale your business while not having to worry about the technicalities of cold email and just enjoy qualified sales calls on your calendar every month. Number 7, the AI audit hook. To take you back in time here a little bit, back in like 2023, 2022, one of the best angles that you could run was offering a Loom video or an audit of their business. And it used to be great because you would have to be required to take the time to actually look at their business, identify the gaps, and then show exactly how you can help. Now, with the advent of AI, you can just take that response and now just immediately run that through AI and give them some generic output, which is pretty helpful though. So instead of just saying, hey, can I send you over this Loom review of gaps in your LinkedIn profile, just do that exact AI audit hook in your second email. And so that first email might sound like, hey, I noticed some existing gaps in your profile. I'll be sending over a video tomorrow, just detailing exactly what I saw. Let me know if you want to see that ahead of time. And then just do that thing tomorrow. That 1-2 punch there is killer because you're just doing the free work for them, and people are naturally going to be lazy. So the more you can expose that for your benefit, so you do the work for them and book the sales calls, then the more successful you'll be with cold email. Number 8, follow up copy that isn't cringe. Most copy that I get is just bumping this up or giving this email another shot at glory, but actually not providing any additional value. So in your cold email copies, don't do that. Make sure that you're either rotating the pain points of the benefits that you're going to provide to that audience, or just further painting a picture of like exactly how you're going to help out that audience, and then utilize actual proof to show that you can do the thing that you're talking about. If you do that and lead with that painting a picture and proof, you're going to be much more successful than, hey, just floating this to the top of your inbox. Number 9, timing windows matter. This is something that comes with more experience with sending cold emails, and Mailshake actually put out a recent report on it. I'll link it down here in the comments, but it's the optimal times to send cold emails. I was really surprised to see this, but it ultimately made sense based on my experience, is that it's 7:30 to 9 o'clock is ultimately one of the best times to send cold emails, and you're looking for Monday through Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, anything in the morning time frame is going to be your best shot, and then like 1 to 2. And then actually you can even send on Sunday evenings as well if you want to get some responses, because people are going to be checking and clearing out the inbox. And if you're going to be relevant and timely and resourceful, then it's going to be of value. So the timing of your day matters, but also the timing of your outreach. So make sure that you're going heavy in your volume in the beginning of fiscal quarters, and when you're in the time frames like July, expect it to be slow so you can scale down sending, get a little bit more creative on your strategies moving forward. In December as well, don't expect to be launching new sales cycles and deals during that time frame. The focus is going to be on close that out and launching into that new year. Number 10, intro offers will help you win more deals. What we often find with our clients that are utilizing cold email as a channel is when they try to go in and pitch $100K to a $250K solution to a business that's never heard from them, it's often going to be a really hard sales process, and it's going to be a long deal just because they're not aware. Now, instead, what we found to be really successful is utilizing an initial intro offer that's much more nominal in price value compared to their whole solution, just to show their value and get their foot in the door. And then once they do so, they're able to build a relationship, provide some value, then they can upsell that audience. And so this takes some time, but often what we see is around like that 3 to 6 month time frame of you're selling these intro offers. That's when you're absolutely able to accelerate the business and then just scale and get incredible ROI out of cold email. Number 11, every cold email should have a proof anchor. The quickest way to lower somebody's trust wall to you and just open up and actually be engaging with you is to actually just show that you can deliver on the results that you're talking about. And this can come in a few different forms. Obviously, the most powerful is going to be testimonials. So if you use anything like quotations, that's going to be really impactful. You can also use case studies or statistics, or if you had any experiments run, like include those statistics to show this people. That'll give them something to take back to their water cooler talk, or at least just show that you can talk the talk and walk the walk. Number 12, use role-based CTA language. What we found in our outreach to be the most successful as you're working through an organization's hierarchy is that when you try to just go to the CEO and immediately try to book a call, it's often going to fall on deaf ears, or he might just pass it down to one of his lower reps that might ultimately book a time with you. So instead of having to deal that entire process, what we typically like to do is when we're going to the CEO or C-suite of a large organization, enterprise organizations, is we want to utilize who is going to be the best person to speak with on your team about this, and then he can point you in that direction, and then you can utilize that as a referral to book a call. Now, in the case of a VP, what that might sound like, or SVP, is mind if I share a resource with you on this, or mind if I share over a few ideas on exactly how we can help. And then for anything below that, that's where you're just going to want to directly jump to book a call with those individuals. They're likely going to be your champions in the deal process, and then you can build up that initial relationship and continue to sell as you move throughout the chain. So make sure that you're using role-based CTA as you move through the organization and try and engage different targets. Number 13, rotate offers based on market cycles. So your offers that are in Q1 should sound entirely different than what you're in Q4. We have multiple clients that sell marketing and advertising services, and if you're not taking advantage of busy seasons or holidays, you're absolutely missing a market opportunity. So if you have July 4th coming up and you're selling email templates, make sure that you're utilizing that in your outreach. If you sell apparel and you know that there's a huge CrossFit Open coming out, make sure that you're calling that out in your outreach as well, because that's a marketing opportunity for those audiences and how they could generate some additional revenue. So markets and change, so your offer should change as well. Number 14, AI agents as playbook executors. AI isn't just a writing tool. AI is a campaign operator if you stack it successfully. So here's how BuzzLead stacks our AI agents to be incredibly successful for our campaign outreach. Number 1, AI agent will go out and do deep research based on our individual business, identify what we uniquely do in our case studies to source similar leads to go out and engage those individuals. Agent 2 will then go and enrich that information with website and LinkedIn content. Agent 3 will then pull in different micro and macro level data so we can get a good understanding of what's exactly going on in that person's world. Agent 4 will then personalize that copy to go out and speak to that individual persona. And then Agent 5 will go and uniquely and push that data to our sending tool. And then Agent 6 will actually help manage the replies that come in. Now, Agent 6 just sits as either a clay table or as a specific Claude project that our response manager will do. But that way we can just move incredibly fast and manage replies in under 15 minutes while being contextually relevant and accurate as to what's going on within a business. Number 15, build a warm pipeline from cold email utilizing ghostwrite loops. Most sales opportunities are lost because sales reps just simply don't follow up. It's a chronic issue. So instead of just not following up, utilize a tool like Ghostwrite to automatically follow up with these individuals when their time comes around, because sometimes it might just be a timing issue with this prospect and it's not really that they're not interested. It's just like, this isn't relevant right now. So utilize a tool like Ghostwrite and utilize prompts like circle back, reference our last conversation, and introduce a new case study discussing exactly how it can help. If you do that effectively and just build a massive pipeline, you'll consistently find that you're re-engaging prospects on an automatic time loop, and you'll be able to source more deals and close more leads in a timely manner. Now, these 15 tactics are yielding the highest ROI for our cold email campaigns and are what we wish we knew 10 years ago when starting this journey. But if you want to see how we're starting and building these campaigns live from scratch, check that out in this next video here where we go more in depth. I'll see you in there.